Hello and welcome to Brewskis and Housekeys. I am Nicole Kostelecki.
And I am Nick Papantanakis.
And we are here in the Remax Alliance Old Town office and enjoying some NA beers.
And enjoying some almost beer. Beers.
Beers.
Nah beer. Nah beer. In the spirit of trying to be healthier, but also the Lent season.
Yes.
We're going to be running another round of kind of sober episodes, so to speak. And this is a fun one. We're circling back to a really good brewery because they just make really good NA beer.
Yeah, I think we've done them in the past, but honestly, Athletic is a great choice for NA beers. Definitely.
So, I think speaking of the Lent season means we're close to springtime, which I like.
Yes.
So have you been emotionally and mentally and physically preparing for spring at your home or with anything you're doing?
Yeah, I've done some spring cleaning, which has been really good, actually.
That's always feels like such a huge undertaking.
Finally finished up my office. I cleaned my office, which was good because sometimes it just, I like to write things down, and so I end up with just stacks of paper.
You look like that eccentric billionaire novelist that just has papers everywhere.
If that's what an eccentric billionaire looks like, then yes. But
that's good.
So that was good. I cleaned that out.
Do you feel like you work better in that office when it's not cluttered or stacked with stuff?
Yes, and it needed to be finished because I needed to finish the trim around my window and around my door. And so I did that, and now it's clear. And now I can put some plants in there. That's awesome. I have been storing at my parents' house.
See, everybody wins.
Everyone
Your parents
does.
get their real estate back.
Yeah. Oh, my mom has such a green thumb. She's so good at plants.
I should give her that money tree plant that I have.
Honestly, she probably would fix it. My sister gave her a couple this last weekend for my mom to bring back to life.
We're doing it. We are doing it. I've just made that decision because that thing is so sad.
She's so good. Yeah.
Lost all your money.
I had to get another money tree because my other money tree lost all its money.
Yeah.
Ain't no green on that thing.
I think my next goal is I want to power wash my house. It's dirty. It's white. It needs to be power washed.
Is it brick?
No.
Is it siding?
Yeah.
Okay. I've seen a couple people on my street doing that, but they have the brick, just all brick. But they're already out doing it. And we barely got over the freezing weather. But
I'm so glad to. Come on, son.
Yes.
I did my driveway this weekend.
Did you?
Nice.
So, okay. So you're part of the early adopters getting back out there.
I just couldn't take it. I blame my mom for the way I am.
That's not a bad thing.
That's a good thing to get from your mother.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Emphatic neat freak.
That's a good thing.
Can't stand dirty.
Especially, we've talked about it before on this podcast about homeowners that are the opposite of that. And that's really not pleasant to be around as their neighbor, let alone, I don't know how it is to live that way. But yeah, I support this.
Yep. How about you?
Good for both of you guys. We, my wife and I the way it works in our house is we have discussions about something for months. Mm-hmm. And then one of us just goes, we're just going to do it.
Okay.
And that's how this whole build up to reseeding and laying sod in our backyard has been. We're on the cusp. We're almost there. We've talked about it for 4 months. Yeah, March. We'll do it in March. Yeah, March. It's getting to this point where this weekend, I think my wife's just going to be like, I just went and did it. Be like, okay,
I
great.
think you should do it because it's probably better with the dogs. You don't have to worry about mud and all that.
Oh, man. That's the main reason.
That's probably the main reason. Yeah.
Yep. And I think she said something about the cold weather is great for grass seed and all that good stuff. So we're probably in the next week or two. But if she pulls it off this weekend before I get a chance to join her, which is something that happens regularly too, then great. Otherwise, it'd probably be next weekend is my guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're good there. We're excited there. And she and Jane are both starting tennis through the Apex.
Oh,
so
cool.
they're getting geared up for getting outside and
tennis lessons or tennis league or
it's kind of like lessons, but it's the big group lessons. It's really inexpensive, and you just go. It's 5 or 6 weeks. You go for an hour once a week and work with an instructor, and they show you the ins and outs, the basics. And my daughter's picking up that. I mean, she's loving it. She's at home practicing. She didn't do that with any other sport, so think we might have found the one.
That's cool.
Might have found the thing she likes. And then Jeannie's done it.
What's fun is racquetball.
Oh, dude, that's like get your aggression out fun.
Yeah, I know. I've been.
You can hit that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you can crush that thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know if I like that.
Part of the satisfaction in racquetball is the sound.
Is the sound.
Oh, it feels good. Just
one time I accidentally hit my friend in the face. I didn't know which way it was going to come.
So dangerous, right?
It was extremely dangerous.
He in his, or in my defense, I should. Well, he was wearing the safety goggles.
Then he's fine.
Because you should be wearing them, but it knocked him like right there. And I'm kind of bad when someone gets hurt. I start laughing. I can't help it, and I'm like, "Are you all right?" Like, but I'm laughing, and he's like, "Get away from me!" It's just
Making it work.
Oh, sorry. Okay, well, I will now not golf or bowl. Hey. Is that what we figured out? And then now is it racquetball too? You're scaring me away from all these things with you.
Okay, well, golf is not like golf and bowling is not aggression that.
No, that's
true.
You
don't have to worry about them coming at you.
We'd probably have a good
hope
time.
not.
We don't have a chance of winning.
Oh.
No, I don't mind getting hit in the face with the racquetball. It's fine. I just feel like I'll probably get my butt whooped, but that's okay.
Oh, that's what you mean.
It'd probably be fun.
Maybe. Well, no.
Yeah, man. Well.
What modesty.
That's right.
Sorry.
That's right.
That wasn't, was it? But
that's fantastic. So it is
racquetball. I'm not very good at.
It is springtime. Springtime means something in the real estate world as well.
Yes, we're in the spring market.
Spring market, and you get
coming back.
You get our market update for the month of February to dive into here. So obviously, we'll talk about the numbers like we always do, but there's going to be some interesting kind of buyer and seller behaviors that we talk about that we've seen just in the last month, but kind of what buyer and seller behaviors might start leaning towards as well in the coming months, I think. Quick, I guess, shout out one more time to Athletic Brewing, I guess, too. Last time, I don't think we did either of these flavors.
I don't remember.
I think we did one of their other IPAs, but Nicole and I are both drinking the
Free Wave.
I was about to call it New Wave. I can't get it. Get it right.
Free Wave.
Got all the waves, but the free one.
Yeah. But it's a hazy IPA, and it's really good.
It's hitting all the spots.
Yeah.
For like getting the fix without having the booze in it.
Yeah.
And then Nico is enjoying the
Upside
Dawn Golden.
It has a little bit of a fruity kind of flavor in it, just very, very faint. But this is going to be great on a hot day.
Nice.
A yard work day.
Yeah.
I'd go to this.
There you go.
It's very refreshing. It's almost like an uplifting drink.
Ooh,
nice.
Going the other direction.
Yeah.
I like it. See, Athletic, if there's any way we could get in touch with you to thank you for making good non-alcoholic beer, because I've had some that are not, some on this podcast, which will remain nameless, but this really is. It tastes like beer.
Yeah. It is. It's good. You can taste the hops in it and the malt.
It's got the mouthfeel. It's got all of it. Like the carbonation, all of it is there. It's not, there was something just different about some of those that just didn't feel quite right in your mouth. It's just, I don't know.
This is a good one.
Just makes you second guess. Is it non-alcoholic?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You got a double take.
So. Wait a second. Do I feel something?
Is that the placebo
effect? Yeah.
So tip of the cap to you, Athletic.
Yes. Thank you.
And we can dive in on some numbers. So
let's do it.
Official February market update for 2023. We'll start with our average and median home prices. So for all residential in the month of February in the Denver metro area, median home price was $562,000, which is about a 4.4% increase from January. So prices starting to climb.
Yep.
Which, as the rates lowered a little bit, prices were naturally going to go up a little bit because people were starting to get out there a little bit. So, and then breaking that out into detached and attached. For detached homes in the Denver metro area, median home price was $600,000. So that's right down the middle. It's a little bit of an increase from January, but not much. Just shy of 1%, about 0.8% increase. And then the attached townhome condo multifamily median home price was $400,000. So that was about a 1.1% increase from January's numbers. Overall, though, like we said, that spring market is a real thing, and seasonality does affect how the market operates in the Denver metro area and probably kind of nationwide, I would imagine. And then similar to January, we're down year over year in the median residential sales price overall, which I found interesting too. So
yeah, not by much, just about 2%.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a good number to look at.
Yeah. And then other goodies.
Yeah, I'll dive into a little bit more. So, the average days on market for February was 48 days, and that was a 4.35% increase from January's numbers. So up from 46 days. And separating that out, attached versus detached. So the average days in market for attached homes was 45, and for detached was 49. So detached homes are sitting a little bit longer. And then there were 3,778 active listings at the month's end, which was down 8.3% from January's month end of 4,120. So seeing houses move a little bit faster.
Yep.
We're still up from February of 2022, so year over year by 208%. So having more listings on the market at the month's end, which is, it's a good thing. It's nice to have options out there.
I think 200% increase. I mean,
That's
that just proves how
right.
unsustainable and insane
Yeah.
the market was last year.
Exactly. So the amount of closed homes in February was up. So 2,661. So that was up from January by 22.51%.
Great.
Yep. And there were 3,451 new listings in the month of February. So that's an increase of about 19% from January. So more homes were hitting the market.
People were starting to come out of hibernation a little bit.
Yes, exactly. Getting ready for the spring. So average close to list price was at 98.88% for residential homes. This is up a little bit based on or compared to last month's numbers. So we are seeing kind of the close to list price becoming closer.
Closing that gap a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this is an important number to note. So the interest rates as of this morning for a 30-year conventional loan are at 6.97%. So climbing close around the 7.
Welcome right back to where we were. What was that? August? September when they kind of made their way up to 7% last year?
Yeah, I think so. It was around then. But yeah, they're up.
Yeah. And I mean, we've said this before, we're not lenders and we're not lender experts, mortgage lender experts, but it definitely obviously is a piece of our business, and it's going to be part of that conversation. And I'm going to dive into what all these numbers kind of mean for buyers in this market. And we're going to talk about rate, because rate does have an impact on these people.
Yeah.
Especially as it fluctuates back up again. It was lowering gradually, and then it gradually has made its way back up towards that 7% mark. So what that means as far as just in general, I think, the rate is a piece of the puzzle, but you just in general want to know what you're getting into with this market. Yes, rates are slightly higher, but the last rate spike basically caused an immediate halt of activity in the market. Not 100%, but the amount of active buyers in the market dropped dramatically. I think because of that effect before, back in, third or fourth quarter of last year, I think some buyers are a little more able to navigate this, and they're not pulling themselves out of the market as fast.
Right, because it didn't happen super fast like the last one. So now it was a gradual, we're seeing the rates kind of stick around this like 6, 7. So I think people are able to see that and just understand that's what they're going to be at. So how can we make that work?
Yeah. And I think navigating that is really important, and that's where the strategy and the conversation with your agent is going to be really important, because finding your price point is important. The home is more important than the rate. We've said that so many times on here. We can't even count probably, but you love that home. You can't change the location of that home or what you love about that home. If the rate isn't your best friend right now, but you can navigate it for a year or two with a temporary buy down or something to that effect, it can really work in your favor to make that fit your budget for now. Mm-hmm. I just had this conversation over the weekend with some buyers that they were in love with this place, and it's a new build place. They were in love with it, but they got the breakdown of the payments, and even with a 3-2-1 buy down, meaning the rate is 3% less in that first year, which would have been 3 3/4% in that first year, the monthly payment still didn't make sense after year one. And that was too much risk. And that's okay. Like that can be a real nasty area to be in if it doesn't fit the budget. So I think it's important to know price point and then also what you can get in concessions to make that fit your budget.
Very true.
Also, speaking of being able to buy down rates, we're seeing this unusual mix right now of when writing offers or when we are helping our clients write offers. I've seen this where some of them are asking for those concessions. We want to buy down the rate, and sellers are willing to do it. We want to pay for closing costs. Sellers are willing to do it. And then on the other end of the spectrum, kind of the polar opposite of that, or the other side of that coin, is getting into bidding wars with other buyers because there are areas that are coveted now. There are areas that people are duking it out and having multiple offers on properties.
And going right back to those competitive offers and making yours stand out.
And one of the ways people do that is talking about appraisal gap coverage. If we get it back into an insane seller's market where buyers are having to do all kinds of wacky stuff, we'll dive deep on what an appraisal gap is, because I think that's something to be educated about. But what the gist of what it means is that if a home appraises for less than what you offered, you're willing to make up the difference so that the seller still says, I still get the same price even though it's appraised for less? Even though the appraiser doesn't think it's worth that? Oh my gosh, I want your offer. Right. And we see people doing that. And it's crazy.
Yeah, and whether or not it appraises that value, I think that's an interesting point to talk about, because I have seen more houses not appraise recently. More recently
than a year ago or a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
I agree.
So I think that's a very important conversation. If you're going to offer and have an appraisal gap coverage in there, I think it's very important to chat with your agent and make sure you know exactly what that means for you.
Maybe we have an appraisal episode on the horizon here. I think
we do.
We'll write that down. Okay, then the other couple notes for you here. I think competition is getting more and more common again in the last 5 to 6 weeks. So get the sense that you're going to be competing as a buyer. Even if you're not every one of the times, good chance that you'll be competing on whatever home that you're putting an offer in on. But it's also not a bad idea to have your agent help you get your search set up so that you're looking at things that have been on market for more than 30 days or more than 60 days.
Even honestly, even more than like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Those are probably good ones to look at too.
Absolutely. Because that could maybe make it a little less competitive if you're not in the mode of, I can get out there and go pound for pound with people on these things.
Yeah.
And then I think one of the last notes is, depending on the type of buyer you are, if you're a first-time home buyer, this maybe goes more towards you, but a lot of people don't mind a little bit of work. Know how much work you're willing to do, because some of these homes need love. They need a lot. And that can make it to where you have fewer people competing on them too, because a lot of people are looking for that move-in ready. So if you are one of those people that is willing to say, I can remodel the kitchen, I can redo the flooring, I don't mind if the roof is junky, whatever it may be, then maybe those are the homes you can be looking at and putting offers in on and maybe having a better chance of getting in there.
Yeah.
So just know your limitations there.
Yeah. So on the sell side, with the market heating up as far as competition goes on the buyers, I do think if you're planning to list your home, now's a great time to go ahead and do that and get it ready. Do it during the spring while there's more competition. Competition is going to drive up your price, and that's ultimately what you want as a seller. Like Nick touched on, the interest rates are right around 7%. So it's important to understand as a seller that the buyers don't have as much buying power. And so, there's going to be that kind of like, they might still ask and see if they can get like concessions paid for. So just make sure that you're managing the expectations as a seller when it comes to that. There is competition as far as multiple offers go, but it's not like last year around this time where there was like 10 on one house. I feel like it's more like 2 or 2 to 5.
Yeah, and it's not like 75, 85, 100,000 over asking that are ending up. It's maybe 5 to 10,000, maybe
Right.
a little more depending on the area.
Mhm.
So I had one that buyers put in an offer 30,000 over and
Yeah.
they didn't get it. They got
Yes.
outbid. So there's still those happening, but it's not the same extreme that it was a year ago.
Exactly. So just be aware that, when you list the house, I mean, you could have multiple offers, but you might not. And average days on market was at 48. So just keep that in the back of your mind. It might not sell in the first weekend, but you have a good chance, right?
Absolutely.
The other thing that I do want to note, in the last 6 months or so, there were a lot of listings that were withdrawn from the market. So they had them on the market for maybe like 2 months or so and then realized maybe I'll wait. Now's a great time to put those back on the market. I know I saw just looking on the MLS, like a lot of people either withdrawing their listing or expiring, that kind of thing. So I think you want to, if you do put it back on, make sure everything's like in tip-top shape. Make sure your photos are really good. That's important. And then, just get it nice and clean, ready to go back on.
And make sure you're having that conversation about price, because what you priced it at 6 months ago might be very different than what it is now.
Right. And that's kind of, that's important for any kind of listing, is to really make sure your agent is very knowledgeable about the neighborhood. And as we always say, make sure that the price is right.
Absolutely. We do talk about that on almost every market update, but it's so pivotal in a market where you are on a razor's edge of being multiple offers gone in a weekend or on the market for 2.5, 3 months.
Yes.
It really is.
It's house dependent. It's price dependent. It's neighborhood dependent.
Yep.
So
now more than ever.
Yes.
Crazy. So not doom and gloom. I think just a lot to chew on. I mean, that's a lot of unusual activity, I would say, in the market right now. So it's just really good to have a trusted advisor as an agent.
Yeah,
so,
like Nick.
Or Nicole,
Yes.
for that matter. I would say if you don't have a trusted advisor as an agent, one of us could probably point you in the direction of one, So
Like,
being able to do that. So
Could you help me with that can?
yes.
crack her open.
Oh, perfect timing.
That was, oh yeah.
And that sound is me thanking Athletic Brewing one more time. And Nico's going to say the thank you by chugging another beautiful Upside Down. That was my best.
Refreshing.
That was my announcer voice. How did that go?
That
okay?
was pretty good.
Freshy. There it is. But thanks to all of you for joining us. That's our February market update. We always want to help with your questions, with thoughts. I know we maybe don't say that enough, but if you just are, even if you're not in the market to sell or buy, but you are curious about something we said,
let us know.
we
Give
are
us a call.
happy to talk.
Send us an email.
Check
Come
us.
stop by.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't even shout out to. I think we'll get this out in time, but we are having the big St. Patrick's Day Festival this weekend, March 11th in Old Town Arvada. If you are one of our 11 listeners, you probably already got an invite from one of us. But please come down and see us. It goes from noon to 6.
Come get a bottle opener.
We'll have our bottle openers out there. Make sure you get your brewskis and housekeys swag. And bonus, we're having a little private get together in the office here too in Old Town. Same time, 12 to 6, where we're gonna have food, green beer, I think. And if not, then non-green beer will also be had. Yes!
Woo.
Crushed it. And we're just gonna have a good time. So please come down and say hey to us because we'd love to see you. And then also, if you're a first-time listener and you are thinking about subscribing, just do it because we would love to have you as a subscriber and hearing us every single week when we put out content. So, other than that, thanks to this beautiful team.
Thanks for listening.
Cheers.